In the 1st century AD, the Gallo-Romans brought with them a grape, vine, and planted it here. The vine named Basilica, quickly adapted to its new environment, where the Romans obtained a new sort of wine with unique color and flavor. Its capital, Bordeaux, is located on the bank of the river Gironde, but rather than the capital, Bordeaux is more famous as the birthplace of French wine. Modern Bordeaux holds an important place in the world of wine. Today, the world of wine cannot be imagined without Bordeaux. The vineyards of this region are divided into 36 districts. The area within the districts are named after the villages and landmarks nearby. The vineyards and the real estate are together named as chateaux or castles. Each chateau produces its own distinctive brand of wine. To avoid mixing the wines with other ones, the wines are bottled and labeled inside the chateau. The chateaux are classified according to cru class system by quality, market value, and export size and reputation. All the wine from this region is labeled as Bordeaux. The name of the district and the chateau are both printed on the label. For example, Médoc, Saint-Emilion, Pomerol, etc. If the label has the name Bordeaux, it means it was most probably produced in one of the chateaus from this region of France. Médoc. North of Bordeaux, between the Atlantic Ocean and the Gironde River, lies the region of Médoc, about 10 kilometers wide and 80 kilometers long. About 10 chateaux is considered to be the brand of French wine here. Bordered by large bodies of water from both sides, this valley has a mild climate, abundant with fog and soft clouds. Because the soil is soft and moist, containing mixture of alluvial gravel, clay, sandstone, red gravel, it has a thick and permeable layer which favorably affects the ripeness and taste of the grapes. The landscape is a combination of low valleys and hills. The sun and the wind affect the vineyards variably, creating different flavors and colors of grapes. This microatmosphere creates wines that are rich, deep brown color, light and delicate. Out of the 61 types of red wine ranked in the cru class system, which is used since 1855, 60 come from the Médoc region. The world-famous districts such as Pauillac, Margaux, Saint-Julien, Saint-Estèphe are home to the well-known wines such as Lafite Rothschild and Mouton Rothschild. Château de la Marque. We had the opportunity to visit Château de la Marque, located in the village of La Marque in Médoc, to learn more about its 1,000 years history. In this historic castle, we met with my old acquaintance Pierre Gilles and his wife Marie-Hélène Gramont-Devery, who have been living here for the past 7 generations. We visited the castle, toured the vineyards, ate together French national delicacies with wine. Pedro, we had 3 years ago a wonderful interview in Ulaanbaatar. I'm so happy to be here now finally to see your marvelous castle now. Please tell us about the history of the castle again.
Thank you very much to come here. You are welcome, of course, and it's so nice to see you again. Very quickly, the history of this castle is the history also of our family. Mm-hmm. The castle was built 1,000 years ago, at the 11th century. Mm-hmm. As you saw, it's a medieval fortress. It was built to resist again the Vikings' invasions. Mm-hmm. Because the people coming from Sweden and Norway by Atlantic Ocean, they was coming through the river La Gironde, mm-hmm. and then inside they was coming to Rap, etc. Mm-hmm. Then the people from Bordeaux, the town of Bordeaux, decide to have a belt of defense of the north of this area, and then they built a belt of fortress. Today, really only Chateau de la Marque it's subsisting to this time. As my father said a long time ago, my sword wink, but my wine can't wink today.
Okay.
And then slowly, Chateau de la Marque had the first vineyards at the 15th century. Mm-hmm. And really, at the end of the 18th and beginning of the 19th century, it became really an estate for wine, wine for sale. The first real vintage sale on the market in the history was 1839. Mm-hmm. Since that time, we have a long history of wine in this military fortress.
Let's talk about the specific of your wine product. You earlier said that the wine, how I was explained, you call it Merlot, like more male, Cabernet Sauvignon, more female, that's how you in French say. You combine the same equal quantity here and you add other wine. Please tell us what makes your Chateau La Marque different wine.
Alors, the specificity of our wine, the blend, just for memory, 45% Merlot, 45% Cabernet Sauvignon, 10% Petit Verdot. Mm-hmm. The Merlot gives the charm, very opened wine, fruit, and color. Mm-hmm. It's really the flag. Behind, you need the structure, you need the refinement, and you need also some things more elegant. Mm-hmm. Merlot is easy. Mm-hmm. Cabernet Sauvignon is more elegant and more distance with the people. Then when you mix, you can mix two qualities of to be open but staying with some reserve. Mm-hmm. And then our really specificity is to have 10% Petit Verdot. Mm-hmm.
It's my success.
Is a success of my year.
And why you have decided to increase the content of Petit Verdot?
Because when we blend the wine, you know, we have a lot of bottle, a lot of sample, because we separate all the Merlot, all the Cabernet, all the Petit Verdot from the three parts, the three big fields. And you try. You keep always the same family feeling that the vintage before, but you can increase a little, and we try to increase the Petit Verdot, and it was fantastic because the Petit Verdot is the link between the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Merlot with something special, spicy.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the 20th century, hard times of war forced the Lamarques to recuperate their vineyards. Since the 1960s, Père Gillet's parents renewed their vineyard and introduced modern advanced technology, thus starting a new era of revival for Chateau de la Marque. Today, the chateau collects a rich harvest from 38 hectares of own vineyard. The chateau makes its wine according to the traditional Bordeaux method. The grapes are harvested separately from each field and fermented in separate stainless steel or special beton barrels with adjustable temperatures. Then they are poured into oak barrels from alley and stored for 18 months before straining and bottling. Today, the great wines of Chateau de la Marque are enjoyed in 70 countries, including Mongolia. Chateau Lestache-Simon, au Médoc. Visiting Chateau Lestache-Simon, located in Saint-Surin-de-Cadorny, village of Médoc, winemaster Olivier Bauchier and Jean-Michel Baudry gave us a tour of their vineyards and talked to us about how they make their wine. The soil in this region is made of gravel along river, but turns into limestone and clay as you move away from the river. The wine from this region is full-bodied with a good balance in color and flavor. They say that the grapes here from the harvest in 2009 were especially good. Chateau Lestache-Simon's 13-degree alcohol wine is particularly suitable with beef, lamb, and hard cheeses. What is the specifics of this chateau in this area? What is this area about in general for wine industry?
Le château a un terroir un peu diversifié où il y a des graves qui sont extrêmement bien placés côté Gironde, des argilo-calcaires, ce qui fait qu'en fin de compte il y a une diversité sur les fruits que l'on obtient en vinification et ça fait de l'Estachimon un produit qui est très reconnu dans le Médoc par son côté un peu différent d'encépagement.
So when you do assemble wine, what is the composition of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon?
Alors on est sur 70% de Merlot, 20% de Cabernet Sauvignon et 10% de Petit Verdot.
What is the total size of your plantation?
On est sur 32 hectares de vignes en production, sur un terroir qui pourrait recevoir 40 hectares de vignes, mais à ce jour, tout n'est pas planté.
Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. Pissards-le-Non. The district located south of Bordeaux is known for dry, not too sweet, white wines of different flavors. But this region produces similar amounts of different types of red wines. With balanced aromas and flavors, the fruity and not too deep red wines are sometimes considered more valuable than the white. The famous red wine from the Chateaubriand was classified among the highest ranking wines in the 1850 Cru Classé system. In 1787, the third president of the United States, then Ambassador Thomas Jefferson, stayed in this chateau. He bought 6 boxes of wine and sent them to his estate in Virginia, along with a letter explaining the particularity of the soil in the vineyards.
Настай болох тусмаа гой үнэрттэй. Тэгээд гэтээ баг шүүстэй байдаг юм байна. Залуу нь болохоор их шүүстэй, үнэр нь бага байдаг юм байна. Тийм учраас тэрийг яаж хольсноос хамаарат виноны сур бий болдгоо гэж энэ Бордогийнхан одоо ярьж байна.
Saint-Emilion. The wine from the Saint-Emilion district, located on the east coast of the Gironde River, is sometimes referred to as a men's wine. The wine here is full-bodied and never sediments. The color is deeper than the color of wines from Medoc. Out of the 63 chateaux included in the 1955 classification, top 12 chateaus were from this region. Special mentions include Chateau Angelus, Chateau Cheval Blanc, and Chateau Ausson. The wines from the east coast of the Gironde River was classified since 1855, while the wines from the west coast of Gironde have been classified since 1955. When Bordeaux's red grape vines reach 8 to 30 years old, it's called the vintage, the fruits ripen and provide a balanced color, flavor, and fragrance, which produces a full-bodied, ideal wine. When the grape beans reach 50 years old, they start to grow fully developed fruits and continue to produce them for many years. Dry white wine can be consumed 2 years after harvest. Sauternes, a popular luxury sweet white wine, can be consumed 3 years after harvest. Most white grape vines reach their peak after 10 years and continue to grow high-quality grapes for an additional 20 years. French friends say that the great wine should be consumed, not stored. In this part of the travels through the wine world, we traveled to the birthplace of French wine culture, Bordeaux, and explored how wine is made in some of the famous chateaus.